Where's my money at, bitch? This here clip. Steven Crowder back on the streets here. After a long, lengthy hiatus from this sort of thing, I guess the assassination of Mr. Charlie Kirk has put Crowder back on the map, wanting to go out there and get a little fiery with the people. This time he's taken on, as you can see, the Black Barbershop, where they, in this instance referring to the black people there, would like reparations, to be paid, to be given things. And Crowder now is not so pleasant as he was the first time around. This is a Lily Gaddis reaction there, but she has the clip included, so we'll fire that up here, get it underway.
We're getting more and more mad. I'm just telling you the truth.
What they mad?
And they have the guns. They're mad because this thing. Here's why. Here's why. They go, look, I'm 12 times more likely to be killed by a black person than you are a white person. And you go, well, that doesn't count. They go, look, my dad's business got burned down.
Yeah.
My city got burned down. I've been accused of being a racist, even though I'm not. And I'm looking at this right now, and I'm not allowed to have an opinion. And I can't go into certain neighborhoods because I get my ass kicked. And then you just say, yeah, but you've had systemic power. That is a surefire way to breed racism. You have young.
Well, there you go, and absolutely nailed it on the head right there. That's Steven Crowder. His new show, I don't know really what he's doing, but he's...
So, opening clip kind of summarizes where you have white people being told they must pay for certain things for the black people, and this now that gets extended out. I'm sure the black people there like it to them, but that gets extended out into other minorities now. Illegals even. They want the middle-class white people especially to be funding all those different groups. Now the black community have a little different argument, and they claim it's because of slavery and racism and past history and that sort of thing that led to their current plight, and that is why they deserve some extra funding. That is the main debate going on here.
He's kind of back to taking to the streets again. This time he was in a barbershop, a black barbershop, and he went there to talk to them about reparations, black on white crime. Good stuff, folks. I love how they were like, why? Why are they mad at us? We didn't do nothing. They've never done nothing. They've never done nothing. Never done nothing. Actually, somebody sent me a t-shirt that said we didn't do nothing or something.
That argument goes both ways, though, as you'll see. The black people don't like the comments being put against them, say, oh, I personally have never done nothing. And then you extend that same courtesy of pushing the argument back onto the white side, where the white person says, hey, I didn't own any slaves. I've been a poor bastard for years here. Why do I need to pay extra? What have I done? I'm still one over here suffering now.
Something it was really funny. Got a little kick out of that. But it's true. I love the delusion. It's like, are you delusional? Do you not see what's going on? Or are you just lying? Okay? I honestly just think it's delusion, because these are, again, let's remember who we're dealing with. These are the same people that believe that they was Kangs and believe that there was actually a Wakanda that was truly taken away by white people. That's not the case. I'm sorry to break it to you. I'm really sorry to break it to you. She goes a little bit farther with it, as far as despite the millions of Netflix renditions of medieval times and black Kangs, it didn't happen, okay? That's all just trying to make them feel better. So this argument of why do they have anything? Why would we be mad?
Not sure
why would people be mad at us? I wonder why. Have you checked out the channel?
Not sure.
That's pretty much what we discuss on this channel. It's reasons why we are mad. Reasons why white men in particular are a little bit angry. We're kind of sick of seeing our grandmothers get beat up for no reason on the streets because they're white. We're kind of sick of having to feel like we walk around our cities in terror. I'm supposed to go to New York soon, and I'm a little bit nervous.
So this side of the internet here, the Gaddis side, some of the other content creators you could probably lump into there. Well, if you just go into the comments, look at a lot of the comment sections they have. The people themselves are a little bit, they would definitely be called racist by the libs, we will say. Definite. Now, whether they actually are or are not, I suppose that would be up to your own opinion on the matter, but they definitely lean in the direction of more direct conversation against that sort of discussion.
I shouldn't feel that way. I shouldn't have to feel nervous.
Just for reference here, so you kind of get, you got the liberal black side who would spout and say, oh, the white man this and the white person that. And then you have the whites on the other side of the same degree, but on the opposite side, having arguments. And that's kind of where they congregate on channels like Lily Gaddis here, who, if you recall, came to fame for saying the dreaded N-word casually in a video she made on TikTok.
Going to one of our great American cities, because I feel like, well, there are black people on the loose, and these are city blacks who are a lot different than country blacks, and I might be putting myself in a little bit of danger here. So, yeah, I wonder why we're angry.
Well,
I really wonder why we're angry. Okay, to get back into more of the interview, this is Crowder now arguing about...
That is an important distinction Lily has touched on there as well. What did she say, city blacks or country blacks? But what you're really getting into there is the culture and demographic of a certain class of people, depending on where they're at, which is the heart of whether it is racist or not. Now, if you have inner city blacks with high crime statistics and all that, it's going to be quite different than if you live in a suburb with wealthier black people. I think anyone who has experienced that could attest to the difference. Just as the same if you live in a place with a bunch of poor white people. I mean, they act quite a bit different than the ones in an affluent area. So it does matter. You can't take one in isolation here and say, oh, this color of skin is always acting like this, when it does have other factors.
Reparations, this should be a good one, obviously. Blacks love their idea of their reparations. Why they deserve it, I don't actually know. Less than 1% of people actually owned slaves, and they weren't white, actually.
So like I said, Lily's shtick is a little more aggressive stance against that side, against the, I'm not going to say the blacks, but I'll say against the political position that the black people deserve more. She is more against that particular stance.
Can you guess who brought you here? It wasn't white people, by the way. And that's actually, it doesn't matter. It's actually irrelevant. That never happened to you or your grandparents, okay? So why do you think that we white people owe you anything? Why should we have to pay you reparations? Why? You were never a slave, and I never owned a slave. So why should I have to pay you? I already pay you enough in welfare, in Section 8 housing, and all these free...
That is the main question that the whites like to pose. Like, why do I, who have done nothing, be forced into paying you something here when you had nothing done to you? And I believe they get into that a little bit coming up here.
So my taxpayer money actually has been providing, which black...
It's the criminal justice.
We need a small business.
Oh,
fast.
and then they tag me with an ad. But you're welcome, Lily. I'll run it.
I'm definitely for reparations.
See, that to me, you said excuse. Yeah. That sounds like an excuse to me.
You ain't paid me back. You ain't paid me for what you owe me. It's not
you
can't start another bill.
What did I take
until
from
you pay this old bill?
What did I take from you?
You didn't take but your ancestors.
But you just said you.
When I say you, I meant it as a euphemism.
But can you understand why white people hear it and get pissed off?
Yeah.
Because I take shit.
But they're not mad about the advantages that were built into their lives.
So you want young people to pay? It sounds like an excuse.
So I say if you try to show a little bit of sympathy towards the fellow in the red there, the black fellow in the red shirt, his argument, saying, well, you still get benefits from what happened. You don't care about that. Now you can kind of see where they might have some validity depending on where you're looking at and maybe specific families who had the benefit of that. But for the majority of the white people, where is the benefit? Systemic racism. They shout all the terms out, all the buzzwords, but you don't really see it in practice.
And even without paying us back, Steve, no
know what my thoughts are on this here? Give us an opportunity to exercise our ability and our autonomy. Let me give you a perfect example.
Bad decisions, personal accountability, we'd all be against
So I heard a lot of shouting, saw a lot of low impulse control there, heard a lot of raised voices, but I didn't hear a lot of good sound arguments. I just heard that you, Crowder, you owe me. You owe me.
Well,
oh, really?
She did cut the clip a little bit.
Since when? Actually, blacks, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think you owe us reparations. Have you seen what you've been doing to our country? Have you seen the crime stats, which aren't racist, by the way, which are being skewed because now they're throwing Mexicans in there?
Now, you could make the argument for that. Due to the reparations and things that have been paid and the special programs and whatnot that have been segmented and given over to the black community over the past how many decades here. Someone who wasn't even born at the start of all that, but still has been paying into it, having their money taken away and placed into those programs. Now, they could come back now, years later, say, well, look, I've been having to lose out paying this into that group, and I've got nothing to show for it. Why don't you give me reparations now? And it starts this whole Pong game. Doom, doom, doom. You got reparations this year, now I get it this year. And there's no real end to it because, as you damn well know now, no matter what happens on it, nobody is going to ever be satisfied with it. That's just the truth. That's the human nature. If somebody is handing out candy, there's always going to be that other portly kid who follows up and says, I want more, even though they've already got a bowl filled. They ate it already. They say, yeah, but I'm still hungry. That's not enough. Others could take the initial piece and be satisfied with it. They could run off and live their life, but they always, once it's there as an offer, it'll always be exploited. No matter what you see or where you go in life, that fact remains the same. There's always a group who will exploit the good nature of others. No matter what it is, business, sports, events, YouTube, whatever it is. A group will always be there to try picking apart and finding out the weak points that they can exploit and keep taking and pretend as if that's how it is supposed to be. It's wild stuff.
And labeling them as white. They're basically throwing everybody but blacks and labeling them as white on the crime stats. So it's actually worse than you even thought. You thought those crime stats seemed racist? Brace yourself for if they were actually true and actually more accurate than they even are. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel. Believe me, they are not wanting to spin this narrative, despite the fact that it is the truth. It is the truth. So no, black people, we don't owe you anything. In fact, you owe us. In fact, I should just run a campaign now where white people want reparations from blacks. When is that going to happen? Where's our reparations? How many more people, how many Irina Zarutskas have to die on a train before we get some reparations? Is she going to get reparations?
Oh, there it is. There she's firing up already, building that narrative of the blacks having to ping the ball back over to the white side here. And I think what started out as many people, especially in the white community, could see was relatively good intentioned, trying to help the black people out after they had been segregated, after the legal racism had been ended against them. They thought, okay, we'll give it to them. They had to put them back up, to kind of propping them back up after they had government racism against it. But then there comes a point where it's like someone a friend of yours down on his luck, needs a place to stay. Maybe he got evicted, lost his job, whatever it is. And you think, okay, come on, you can stay here. You'll get the spare bedroom or the couch. You can sleep out there till you get back on your feet. Yeah, come on over. Until you get back on your feet, young sir. Come over here and you can benefit from the fruits of my labor and generosity. Now, a week goes by, 2 weeks, no progress. A month, no progress. 2 months, a year, no progress. I mean, at some point you're thinking, Tony, I said you could stay over here till you're back on your feet. But you got to stand up at some point, don't you? Get out there and find a job with it. So the generosity begins of that nature, but if it is exploited And instead of standing up to rebuild, if they just keep beckoning you over here, well, my drink's a little low and the candy bowl needs to be filled up. I need some more food stamps. Pick that up for me now. No, I can't. No, my favorite show's coming on TV. I can't possibly get up and do any of that. At a certain point, you figure, Tony, get the hell off this couch. And I think we are seeing that in this particular case here, where the white people especially are fed up with what they see as someone sleeping on the couch, not standing up on their own when they've been given many opportunities. And of course, Tony on the couch thinks, oh, I just need more time. What are you doing? You know what happened to me? Do you know what happened to me? So that's the argument we're facing here. Where do you stand on it? That's good enough. I'm about to end this thing here. Okay, boys and gals, until next time. Ghost Miss is going to take a little break here. Time for a nap. And I got to go kick Tony off that. Tony, get off that damn couch now.